Your 72-hour countdown begins now from the moment of you clicking this video. Hello all my beautiful little unicorns and welcome back to my channel. You guys, if this is the first time that you're on my channel, my name's Vanessa Somuayina. Most of you know me as your big sis from the internet. And for all of you who are completely new to this space, I will be your psychic medium for today. So what this pick a card psychic prediction is going to do for you is that it will give you complete clarity over the next 72 hours from the point of you clicking this video and choosing your group. If you're feeling anxious, uncertain, or have a very big decision to make, this is the perfect reading for you to receive right now. And I also just want to say I'm proud of you for choosing such a healing place of self-reflection on the internet when most people are just after a quick fix and dopamine hit after dopamine hit. You are here consuming deep content that isn't going to fry your brain cells. So yay to us. Hello my gorgeous soul, it's your big sis from the internet, just checking in with you to see how you're doing. So you clicked this video for a reason. There's a reason why you're meant to receive these messages about the next 72 hours of your life. And I want you to know that these readings are extremely detailed, extremely precise, because I wanted to give you guys all of the insight and information that was coming through, but also you then be able to actually apply what you have learned within this reading. Because I know I read tarot and I'm totally into psychic abilities. I mean, our intuition is something we were born with for a reason. I truly believe that our ancestors, literally for thousands of years, they've used their intuition so that they don't turn the corner to then accidentally find a massive lion about to chow down on them. So I really do love implementing the unseen, the unknown, the whole gut feeling of, why is this happening? Why is this showing up? But then actually giving you practical, logical, big sis kind of advice. Because I mean, not to knock the tarot or spiritual community, but sometimes there can be some really weird things going on with these cards. So all of my lovely subscribers, you guys already know this, but for everyone who's tuned in and is new, this is a safe and healing, open-minded space on the internet that welcomes every single individual that is fascinated by tarot, oracle cards, and divination, and wants to use that as a tool for self-reflection and growth, and to use these tools to see things from a perspective that you otherwise may have never taken into consideration. And I really love how the unicorn family is such a beautiful blend between people who are highly educated, highly intelligent, but at the same time, you understand the fascination for spirituality, for tarot, for intuition, for inexplicable synchronicities and psychic abilities. So I love that we have been able to create this melting pot. I just wanted to welcome everyone who is new to the channel onto the channel, and I wanted to say hi to my beautiful unicorn family and that I love and appreciate every single one of you. And I cannot wait for you to receive these readings. So without further ado, let's get into figuring out what is coming towards you within the next 72 hours from the point of you clicking your reading. Remember, there's a reason why you're here. There's a reason why you felt called to watch this video, and we're about to find out why. So I'll catch you within your readings. And you guys, before I get into these three groups, it's only fair that I also announce on YouTube that this is the last chance for you to get into my daily reading membership at a heavily discounted rate. And what you will get in this membership is every single day a new tarot reading unlocks itself. So as you are in this membership, your library of personal readings continues to grow. So not only can you receive daily guidance whenever you need, but if it's been a couple days and you haven't had any time to tune into your membership, you can binge watch all of the videos that have unlocked themselves and pick and choose whatever reading resonates with you at the time, because that will have the perfect message and answer that you need on any given day. The reason why I created this subscription is because I know a lot of you guys would like daily guidance, and unfortunately I am unable to do so here on YouTube on a daily basis as of right now. So my membership is really here to support you in the highest form, and it also comes with a secret secret community section. This is called the Society of Empresses and Unicorn Army. You are able to interact and connect with me as well as all of the other members. And on top of all this, you have access to members only exclusive pick a card reading videos that can only be found within the membership. There's so many other beautiful bonuses within this membership, and the feedback so far has been incredible. So thank you to all of my beautiful subscribers who are now also members. So I let you guys know on Instagram that this discounted rate is only going to be available until the 8th of August, so 0808, the numbers of abundance. However, I did not give my YouTube family a heads up or the same opportunity to join at this heavily discounted rate. So I will extend that period of time for my YouTube family specifically. All the details are below in the description box. And what you guys can also find in the description box is the link to my completely free mini course that teaches you how to build a successful YouTube channel from scratch and grow organically. So make sure that you make use of these resources. They are in the description box. And now, without further ado, I will introduce you to these 3 groups that I have prepped for you today. Group number 1 corresponds to the Crystals the Stone Oracle deck as well as the Aqua Aura Crystal Point. Group number 2 corresponds to my Pastel Journey Tarot deck as well as the Amethyst Crystal. And group number 3 corresponds to the Ephemere Tarot deck as well as the Cognac Calcite. Now, the timestamps to all 3 of these groups can be found below in the description box as well as pinned to the top of the comment section for quick and easy access from your phones, your mobile devices, your tablets, and your TVs. I know a lot of you guys like to watch my videos on the go as you're driving or even to fall asleep to, so make sure that you put this on even in the background as you're cleaning up or as you're doing your self-care routine so you can get into this healed and super relaxed energy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you a little moment of privacy to meditate on these 3 groups. I want you to feel free to pause the video right here if you need a little longer to meditate on the choices in order to pick the perfect group for yourself. And then when you're ready, I'll get into these readings, starting off with the first group, which corresponds to the Crystals the Stone deck and the Aqua Aura Crystal Point. So if this is the group that you chose, then simply continue watching, and to my other 2 gorgeous groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Welcome, my beautiful soul of group number 1. My name is Vanessa Somuayina, and I am going to be your reader who will uncover precisely what's coming for you within the next 72 hours. Your countdown begins now. There's a reason why you're here in this space, why you chose the Aqua Aura Crystal Point, and why you are receiving these specific messages right here and right now. So this is the gorgeous Aqua Aura Point, which I will just put up here for you to continue to soak up the energies of throughout your reading. And then the crystal that is depicted on the deck that you chose is actually an ametrine. Now remember, there is a deep underlying current of energy that is present here within this reading, and that is the reason why you felt drawn to group number 1. And the ametrine is a mixture between an amethyst and a citrine crystal. I'm wearing citrine today, for example. An amethyst is a stone that you may know. It has this beautiful dark purple color, and I want you to know that this mixture between a stone of intuition, which is the purple amethyst, and a stone of financial abundance, which is the citrine, makes for the perfect combination for you to make the best business decisions within the next 3 days. This stone and this crystal is for anyone who needs to now turn their big dreams into their big life. So if you have had dreams that you think are almost too big to dream of, too big to think of, you know, when you're dreaming and you almost feel a little shy in front of yourself about your own dreams, and you almost feel like holding back, and you've got to remind yourself, hold on a minute, the whole point of dreaming is to dream big. The whole point of dreaming is to not hold back. Why am I feeling a little bit of this shame mixed with guilt and anxiety for the big dreams that I have for myself? Remember that that is something that may have been programmed into you through your family, through your lineage, especially if your family has never had someone accomplish as much as you have throughout the past years and decades. So group number 1, I'm getting a message for you right here. For the next 72 hours, you're going to have a big life-changing decision come up, and you will choose your big life. You will choose, as we've got here within the Magician, success. And with success will come some sacrifice, where you have to say to yourself, all right, I'm taking on this new job, I'm starting this business, I'm finally uploading my first Instagram reel or my first YouTube video, and I know that I still have some challenges ahead of me. But the Magician understands here, with the infinity symbol above this monkey's head and him holding this, it's kind of like a scepter, if you will. The Magician understands that, of course, in order to live your big life, your big dreams, you will have to make some big decisions. You can't just sit around, watch pick a card reading videos all day. Once you've taken in the wisdom, the knowledge, you've gathered the confidence, and you have the guidance, you have got to act on it. The Magician also corresponds to the number 1. It doesn't say it here on the card, but you guys know that the Magician has number 1 energy. It is technically the second card of the tarot in the Major Arcana book. This corresponds to the number 1, as the tarot begins with 0 actually, and 0 is the Fool's card. The Magician being the number 1 after having 0 in the tarot. The number 1 is a number of putting yourself first. The number 1 is a number of picking your dreams. So in the next 72 hours, I do also see that you will talk to people who you really shouldn't be talking to, but there's a reason why you're receiving this reading, right? And it's to protect you. And what I'm getting here as a message as to why you shouldn't talk to these people is because you should never tell someone with a limited worldview your big dreams. They're just going to rain on your parade, and what you need here for the next 3 days is actually someone to support you. So be very picky about who you talk to, who you text, and who you share voice notes with in the next 3 days. I see in the 10 of Cups actually a really deep relationship that you have with another person that you have slept in the same house with. So it's a very deep connection. You know each other in that intimate sense. You know how friendships, for example, they get to that next level once you've actually had a sleepover together? The same with relationships. It's almost like you don't really know the person until you've, like, quote unquote lived with them or been roomies with them, at least for a moment, at least for a night. And I see that here in the 10 of Cups. As you can tell, one of these birds has one of these little hats on, which represents, you know, that Sandman hat and closeness here. So a close relationship. There's a sleepover planned with this person in the next 3 days. And I see here that what this will do is it will give you the courage to take your steps forward, because the Magician shows us the next 3 days is going to bring you a huge opportunity in your life to make your big dreams your big reality. And you've got to take it, and take it while also being in close contact with someone who is actually supporting you, who can actually see you being famous, actually see you being rich, actually seeing you be happy in your career, in your personal life. I see here within the 2 of Swords that the next 3 days is about making big decisions, not just when it comes to your career, but also when it comes to your personal life. This means that you will decide who gets to stay and who has got to go. The next 3 days, someone will text you and you will ghost them because you know that they are absolutely not helping your growth. They are just here to distract you. And one thing that a lot of people don't understand is even seeing them, for example, in your WhatsApp chat list or in your Instagram DMs, it continues to kind of fizzle out your energy into multiple directions. So what your guides are trying to say to you here in the Two of Swords, as you can see this falcon's eyes are kind of like covered, is out of sight, out of mind. And the swords represent making a decision. Make the decision to delete the chat if you can. Delete the chat with your ex. Delete the chat with those situationships. I know sometimes you've got data in there like images and things that you want to be able to look at again in the future, either to give yourself an ick or to break your own heart again, because sometimes we look at these memories knowing that it will do something to us emotionally, but a lot of us are recovering heartache and heartbreak addicts. So let's not judge each other for that. If you can, please delete group number one, and if you cannot, at least archive. At least make sure that you don't constantly see their name and their image and the last message between you and that person, because it just continues to pour salt into the wound. And Spirit is trying to say to you, these next 3 days are going to bring some really big times for you, for your life. And the only type of person who deserves to be part of this energy is someone who's actually supporting you and going to continue to be here throughout your life, not people who were just temps. Next up, we've got the Judgment card. Now, the Judgment card actually refers to you being very open-minded in the next 3 days about these offers that are coming your way. By offers, I mean there will be a sale that is launching in these next 3 days. This is something quote unquote very mundane. So a sale of your favorite store online. I'm getting clothing, I'm also getting books, and I'm getting health and skincare. The Judgment card is a card of discerning, of being very real with yourself about what you need and what you don't need. And I want to enable you, group number one, to make a list of the items that you want and need, because there can be an intersection, and life is here to be enjoyed. You were not put on this earth to just suffer, to just work and never actually enjoy what you work so hard for, never actually reward yourself in the earthly realms. I think in so many ways, spirituality is the balance between being spiritual, but also understanding that we live in a material world. And humans, animals, creatures have always had a fascination and an affinity towards material things. Even in this day and age, I mean, animals still do mating rituals in which the male usually gathers something material to present to the female, to gift the female with. So material, tangible things still play an important role. We have some sort of fascination and connection to it, and it is completely natural. And the Judgment card is telling you, splurge, buy the outfit, get the skincare, get the supplements. You are not going to regret it. You've been thinking about this for so long. Trust yourself. And before we get into the next card, trust yourself that you will make the money back tenfold. Trust yourself to act as your highest self, because sometimes we can't pivot, we can't get to the next level in our lives unless we take action as though we were already that person that we want to become. So if you want to become someone who is capable of fulfilling your earthly dreams whenever you feel like it, to being able to purchase things just on a whim, just for fun, without feeling bad, without feeling like you don't have the money for it. Sometimes you need to behave like that person and trust yourself that you will make it back tenfold, because when your back is against the wall and you've got some pressure to perform, to do it, a lot of you need that in order to take action. A lot of you need that in order to become the person you've always wanted to be, and Spirit confirms. It's wild how within these readings, as you can see here, we have these 2 coins and a crab holding this up. The 2 of coins shows us here, you're strong. Look at how the crab is holding these coins up that are, I'm sure, a lot heavier than the crab and pretty hard for the crab to balance, but yet you're still here doing it. And I want to remind you that the difference between someone who is financially super abundant and super free and you is just that they took different action, man. All right? So it's not that there's something inherently different in them. It's just that they chose to bet on themselves and they chose to believe that they would make the money and they found a way to make it. The 2 of coins is a representation of fearlessly giving yourself the stuff that you've always wanted, not judging yourself, and understanding that this is within your realm. It is within the quantum field for you to live abundantly. But will you access it? Will you do it? Will you believe in yourself? The next 72 hours, believe in yourself, make the purchase, and trust yourself. I promise you are not going to regret this. Let's see what else Spirit has to say. We've got the counterpoint. Now the counterpoint shows us here that you are going to have an encounter with someone that you knew from school, someone that you knew from your past. You're going to bump into them in the next 72 hours. So if it is important for you how you appear to the world, and let's just be very honest here, group number 1, to a certain degree, I think all of us care about our appearance and how others view us. To a certain degree, does it not give all of us a little bit of satisfaction when we bump into someone that we once knew or were once in school with or working with, and we look our best, we have amazing energy, and when they say, "How are you?" we get to answer with, "I'm successful, how are you?" I think as human beings with human egos, it's only normal and natural that we want to bring that kind of appearance. And it is not vain. It is actually something that shows that you're proud of everything you've accomplished, of how far you've come, especially if this person was a huge bully towards you, because we have all of these swords and I see that they said some harsh things to you that stuck with you and you still remember it to this day. And in the next 72 hours, from the point of view receiving this reading, you will bump into them. And when you bump into them, what will actually happen is it will become apparent how much further you've made it in life and how they should have maybe focused more on themselves rather than focused on just being a big bully. And it's going to give you a sense of satisfaction. And to just amp up this satisfaction a little more, Spirit is giving you this message. Spirit is giving you this certainty that this is what's going to happen in the next 72 hours and revealing this to you so that for the next 3 days after you watching this video, do your hair exactly how you want to do it every single day. Don't skip. Don't miss a beat. Make sure your nails are on point. Make sure you love the outfits that you're wearing and they are flattering so you can feel as confident as possible. Just amp yourself up to the level that you know if you bump into this person, which you will. So basically, when you run into this person, that you're going to feel so good, proud, and confident about yourself. And you're going to think to yourself, if I was ever going to run into this person, today is the perfect day. And in a sense, it will give you a little bit of a personal satisfaction in the sense of, well, that kind of showed them that they were very wrong for being so mean to me. That showed them that actually maybe they should have focused more on being a kind person and working hard rather than being this person who's judging others, and now look at where they are. So we've got the desert jasper next within your reading, and what the desert jasper, which is a crystal, for all of you who didn't know what this stands for, is a resolution. And the resolution that you're getting, so in a sense, the clearing of any kind of doubt that you may have had over whether this person was maybe right about what they said about you, whether this person had a point, whether anything that they said had a validity, just seeing in real life how tired they look and how their life has actually not amounted to even half as much joy as you have been able to create for yourself. It's not that you are judging, it's just that you're seeing, wow, it is proof of concept that this really has nothing to do with you. If someone says you are not going to be successful, if someone says you are not attractive, you're never going to find love, it has nothing to do with you, group number one. Literally zero. It has absolutely nothing to do with your future. It has absolutely nothing to do with your success. It has everything to do with that person and what triggered their insecurity to try to drag you down to their level. And it is confirmed in you seeing this person from your past and you seeing that, wow, misery really does love company, and they've attracted a lot of misery into their life, probably due to their own making. And this will shock you. This will kind of scare you into making sure that you are never like that to anyone else. You never put anyone through that, because you see that karma is real. Now, in the pink amethyst, which is a beautiful crystal that connects to the solar star chakra, there is divine love coming to you in the next 72 hours. Group number one, how exciting that we've got divine love here. We've got 2 peach-colored roses and what the pink amethyst represents, which is another amethyst showing up, right? And we have that here in the ametrine too, a mixture between amethyst and citrine, remember? And here with the pink amethyst, this is a more soft version of regular amethyst. As already mentioned, regular amethyst looks somewhat dark purple like this. So the pink amethyst is lighter. It's more pink colored. I actually currently do not own one, as I've gifted my pink amethyst that I had to a close friend of mine who really needed that energy of divine love at the time. And here within divine love, not only am I reminded to also splurge on a new pink amethyst in the next 3 days to add back into my collection, but it is also symbolic of the next 3 days being a time of you attracting divine love into your life. So group number one, don't be shook and shocked, or as Instagram likes to say in this day and age, don't be shick shack shook when someone comes into your life in the next 3 days that is actually going to be a lover for the next while, that's actually someone that you're going to spend a lot of time with. Don't be surprised if you find a soulmate in the next 3 days. And why I say a soulmate is because a soulmate does not have to mean a husband or a wife. It doesn't have to mean a romantic partner. So for all of you who didn't know, soulmates can also be friends who feel like long lost family members. Soulmates can also be romantic lovers who will be your husband, your spouse, your forever person. But they can also be temporary lovers who you just get along with so well and are here for a season and a reason to teach you something. As of recently, I was thinking back at a soulmate that I had for just a couple months, and I asked myself why they're no longer within my sphere, why they're no longer in my life, why did things end? And Spirit answered to me, they were here to teach you health. So they were really into health, and they are here to teach you to eat more healthily, to eat clean, to really up your physicality. And it's true, because had I not met this person, I wouldn't have taken my physical glow up so literally and so seriously. I wouldn't have taken my health to this next level. So for that, I will forever be grateful. And they were just there for that reason. We've got the healer card. They were just there for that reason, for that season, to teach me that, to make sure that became the norm, and to make sure that became a new habit of mine. But they were just there for that purpose. They were not here to become my husband. They were not here to become my forever soulmate. They were not here to become my best friend forever. They were just here for that purpose, and they served their purpose. And once that purpose was served, I could release them. Spirit and the universe released them for me, thankfully, because what you don't want to do is hold on to something, because when you hold on, you can't heal. The healer brings you a message that in these next 3 days, you're going to have some profound thoughts and awakenings around people that you have let go of, and you will also find it in you to be so grateful and thankful for the period of time that you did have them in your life, and you will understand precisely what purpose that connection served. And what it's going to do is it's going to heal any unfinished wounds and business that you had with the energetic tie that you still had to that person. So when you look through your camera scroll, when you see some of the screenshots of the messages that you shared, you're not going to be so triggered anymore. You're not going to be in a place where you wish you could have them back. You're actually going to be in a place where you know that you deserve more, and they were there for a season and a reason. Now, next up, we have got the Seven of Wands for you. The Seven of Wands shows us these next 3 days are going to be intense. It's going to feel like a lot of attention is on you. The next 3 days you will have a speech. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, Vanessa, I have not booked a speech. I'm not a public speaker. How am I going to have a speech in the next 3 days? You're going to give another person a very, very important message. That is a speech. If you speak publicly, in front of another person, in front of other people, you are a speaker and you are holding a speech, because what you're doing is you are letting them know that you have an opinion. You're letting them know that while a lot is expected from you, it's not just a one-way thing. All right, we also received sin for you. Sin, an act, thought, or way of behaving that goes against the law or teachings of a religion, especially when the person who commits it is aware of this. So there is some sinful behavior going on in the next 3 days. Sinful behavior, I'm seeing that others deem as sinful, and they're going to tell you that they feel like you're going against the religion that you grew up in or that you're surrounded by. And the thing is, you don't really care. Group number one, you are here to live your life, not to follow an organized religion that is actually just encroaching on your life and your enjoyment of life. And I also do see that you will have a speech. You will very clearly and publicly communicate your beliefs, and that your beliefs have the same validity as someone else's beliefs. So if it is not a sin to you to date, to be in a relationship, to live your dream life, to work a job that you love, to maybe not go to church every Sunday, if that is not a sin to you, because your connection to the divine, the universe, and God is between you and your maker. It's between you and the divine, not anyone else. And that's one thing that you're making really clear in these next 3 days, that you don't need anyone judging you within your life. You've got other things going on. And here, what I see that you've actually got going on is going abroad, in or to another country or other countries, in public or into general circulation, over a wide area, away from your house or home. That's where you're going in the next 3 days. You're obviously going to be leaving your house. So that is for short-term travel. For example, going to work, going to the gym, going to school, going wherever it is that you need to go. But I also have here in abroad this feeling of not just going abroad short-term, but also looking at flights for where you can go abroad to live for a while or live for an extended period of time, and planning that. I literally, just before turning on my camera and beginning to film this video for you, I just booked my flight to London. I just booked a flight to go there for a few days, and I am so excited to not only be attending a very close friend's beautiful wedding ceremony, but also to connect with other gorgeous individuals, to see my best friend who is coming to London just to hang with me, just to be with me. I feel so grateful and loved and cared for, knowing that going abroad is filled with so many beautiful experiences that will allow me to come back reignited, to continue to delve deeply into the divination practice that you see right here, but also to give me a sense of purpose by seeing the world and connecting with a lot of other people, because I have met a lot of you guys in person as well. I've literally bumped into you guys in all types of places, in like the craziest corners of this world. The one time I went out at night in Zurich, and I never go out at night in Zurich or in Switzerland, I bumped into one of you guys. The one time I was in Slovenia and Bosnia and another place close by, I can't remember what it was. Again, I bumped into one of you guys, and you guys DMing me that, you saw me in this place and I was really there. Please do come up to me whenever that you see me in public, because I spend most of my time in my safe spaces, so with friends and family, or within my divination studio, my tarot reading studio. I don't really do much outdoors except walking and running and hiking. So I want you to definitely know here that one thing about going abroad is that it gives you fresh perspective. And we all need that. We all need a little change of scenery here and there. And to deny yourself of this is going against what we spoke about with you investing in yourself and knowing that you will make the money back tenfold. Having that belief, that intuitive kind of feeling of, all right, I'm scared, but I trust myself and I will splurge on this because I deserve it. And because investing in myself is never a wrong decision. Investing in myself is never going to be something that I regret. So Spirit is trying to reiterate this for your next 3 days, my gorgeous soul of group number 1. So we've got some more messages here for you. I can feel it. What I'm going to do is I will clear and cleanse the space of all of this energy that we currently have, and then we'll start on a fresh slate, moving deeper into these next 72 hours of your life from the point of you viewing this video and picking your group. So group 1, just hold on tight and I will be right back with you. Actually, group number 1, in the meantime, leave a crab emoji below in the comment section. That way you'll let me and others know that you're part of group number 1, you're a real one, and you're still here. So don't forget to leave the crab emoji in the comment section. You don't have to lift a finger otherwise, and I will be right back to guide you even more deeply into the next 72 hours of your life. All right, welcome back, group number 1. We're going to delve a little more deeply into your reading with our divination board and also our charms. So I've got charms here within this charm bag, as you can see. So we are just going to intuitively be pulling the charms the way that Spirit needs for you to receive these valuable messages. Okay, so we've got the key, we've got a bird, and we have an arrow that is intertwined within a rocking chair. So these next 3 days, I can see with the arrow and the rocking chair, someone is going to say to you very clearly that they want children and they're looking for ways how they can get there. So fertility struggles will be revealed to you by someone else in the next 3 days. And it also landed on try again. Do you see that here? So they have been trying, and the thing is they need to try again. They need to try more. They need to try differently. They need to consider IVF, for example. Then we've also got the key that landed on Sunday, as well as the number 8, which is the number of abundance. I want you to know that Sunday is the day of opening the door to abundance for you. This might or might not be within the next 3 days of you receiving this video, which is why Spirit wants it to be abundantly clear to you here with the key on Sunday that this is your day to unlocking more money, more abundance, more time. So on Sunday, which is not a work day, you will still receive an email and an update and a notification. You will get a positive message about what's going on for you professionally. Now we have a bird here that landed on unknown. I'll just bring this a little closer for you to be able to see. There is an unknown bird, and I'm getting a bird that is either dead on the road, like the side of the road. You'll see that as you're driving, or as you're walking by somewhere. So I'm getting this dead bird vibes and an unknown reason as to why this bird perished. And you seeing this in the next 3 days is going to confirm that this reading was for you, seeing this deceased bird. That's what I'm getting here for you, group number 1. Then we've got 2 more charms. We've got a ship's wheel that landed on Tuesday, as well as a lotus flower that landed on V. You guys know my name is Vanessa, and your lotus flower landed on V, which obviously intuitively draws me to the fact that as a lotus flower, opening up, fanning open this reading, this divination for you, these messages, is what we've got here in the lotus flower, but also V standing for vivacious, V standing for V, which is life in French, and just life opening up in the next 3 days. And Tuesday is the day of taking the lead. So the next Tuesday, from the point of you receiving this reading, please don't be surprised if you get promoted. Please don't be surprised if you're the one who is in charge of making a very big decision for other people. Because I definitely see here that when it comes to Tuesday, that's the day of the next big deciding factor. Now, we received the message of the finger, to feel or move the fingers across something, often in a gentle, affectionate, or thoughtful way, to inform the police of the whereabouts or illegal activities of somebody. That's the definition of finger. And I want you to know that the next 3 days, something is going to happen with your finger where you'll think to yourself, oh my God, why is this going on? So in the next 3 days, you will notice something about your finger and purchase something for your finger. So a new ring, for example, new nails as well, or having to fix a broken nail, a hangnail. I do also see here within finger that in the next 3 days, you will have someone very affectionately caress you with their fingers, and that what is coming towards you for the next 3 days is paying close attention to your hands. So moisturizing them, making sure that they are looking in good condition, that they are taken care of. And I see here within the finger that the reason for this is also because people look at your hands as you're presenting things. People will be looking at your hands in the next couple weeks more than usual. And that's also why it's so important for you to keep them clean. Now, we do have the nude, naked card here. I'm not sure if I'm even allowed to be saying that here on YouTube, since YouTube is wild about censorship, but okay, we said it. Now, the question here, and in correlation to finger, you know, let your imagination run wild about what's happening in the next 3 days. Group number 1, I'm not going to judge. But since we're not going to get into that on this family-friendly PG-13 platform, let's talk about the other meanings of this card. And what this card stands for is actually what's coming to you in a dream. So in the next 3 days, you will have a dream of not wearing any clothes, of being exposed in front of others. And this dream is either coming at night or in a day nap. So the question that you're going to want to ask yourself when this dream happens is, do you feel exposed or outed in some way? What is making you feel inadequate, guilty, ashamed, or vulnerable? What do you need to release? This is what the dream means. It means that there are these questions that are popping up about what's making you feel vulnerable. What do you need to release? What is making you feel exposed in some way? And an interesting fact that you may have not known is that about 80% of people actually remember their own dreams. But the thing is that 5 minutes after the end of a dream, we've forgotten like 50% of the dream's content, and 10 minutes later, we've forgotten about 90% of its content, which is why I encourage you, whether you dream often or you don't dream a lot right now, to keep a journal, a pen, a piece of paper next to your bed, so immediately as you wake up, you can note down, jot down these dreams. In the next 3 days, you will have a dream of being exposed, but from there on out, you may want to still write down your dreams and the contents, because your dreams often hold a lot of information that's already within you, but that had to be revealed during REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, because during your conscious waking hours, you didn't have the space in order for this to be brought to your attention. So let's move a little more deeply into your reading. And some people say dreams are just what is happening subconsciously, and that dreams are based on what's happening in your current reality. Some people say that within dreams you receive divine messages that you couldn't possibly have just concluded to on your own. This is really up to your own personal interpretation, as we all dream differently, and only you know whether your dreams are coming from angels, guides, or your subconscious. So let's move a little further into this. We've got leadership. Now, didn't we talk about how you will lead group number 1 in the next 3 days? You are no longer the supporting cast. You are the leading man or woman. Take the initiative and lead the way for others to follow. You will be judged by the company you keep and those you admire. So as a leader, you are always the one being judged, which is why it's not easy to be a leader. It's actually one of the most challenging things to do, because not only may you judge yourself, and this is something you have to keep to yourself, because think about it, all of the great leaders, what do they have in common? They're confident, and you feel confident to either put your life in their hands or to trust where they are going. Like, for example, a pilot is a leader. You're trusting the pilot with your life. You're putting basically your life in their hands for them to lead. But if you saw a pilot that was not confident at all, and maybe you've even experienced this, where you got on a plane and the pilot seemed really unsure about himself, and that gave you a feeling of fear, of not being safe, of maybe even thinking of disembarking the aircraft, of questioning the entire flight and its entire safety and validity. So being a leader means being confident and not showing a lot of the uncertainty and fears that you may have to the outer world. So that's a challenging part of being a leader. But then what's also challenging in you becoming this leader is that you have to trust your decisions are the right ones, because you're being watched and you're being judged. And even the best leaders, of course, make mistakes. And how do you deal with those mistakes, right? And I see in the finger and leader that in the next 3 days, people will point at you to make a big decision. People will ask you what you think, how you would move forward, what you would do given the situation. So it is really important, group number 1, that you trust yourself, and that you trust that you are put in a situation of feeling exposed, of being the one who is judged by others positively and negatively, being part of your life's calling, because we need leaders as humanity, as a society. And you happen to be one of these leaders, group number 1. And I want you to step into the power, to step into the role. Yes, these 3 next days are going to be a little challenging on the front of having to be very confident on the outside, even though on the inside you may be feeling all types of emotions, but you've got this. And the emotions that you're feeling here, make sure you write them down. Then you can meditate on them, and you can figure out why you feel the sensation of being exposed and vulnerable or inadequate, because there's a reason why this is happening. And for you to come to the bottom of it, to understand why this is going on, is actually going to give you a leg up on a lot of other people who feel uncomfortable. And rather than still following through, they then shy away. But not you, group number 1. Your mother did not raise a quitter or someone who was fearful. Your mother raised someone strong, someone independent, and quite frankly speaking, I'm getting warrior energy out of this leadership card. These next 3 days are 3 days of relentlessness from you. I know it sounds extreme, but when you put your mind to something, you're gonna do it. And I want you to know these next 3 days are going to show you once again just how powerful and strong that you really are, in case you ever doubted this, my gorgeous soul of group number 1. So this is the reading that I have received for you. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. If you are completely new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe. It's free, it's easy to do, and that way you are part of the unicorn family and you'll never miss a beat when it comes to more divine messages that you're meant to receive. Furthermore, as mentioned during the intro, make sure that you join my free course on how to create a successful YouTube channel. I think next I will make a free mini course for reading tarot, and I'm also thinking of opening up a community for all of my free courses. So in there you can ask more questions, you can interact with other students in the free mini courses from all over the world, just as all of my paid courses and memberships also have their very own community. And that would be a great space for us to share with one another, to do challenges as well, and to just stay connected. So let me know if you think that's a great idea, group number 1, because I think it may be very, very beneficial for all of us. And furthermore, if you want your own personal library of daily tarot card readings, as already mentioned in the intro, that link is below in the description box as well, only for a limited time. So make sure that you check it out. On the page, I also describe precisely who this membership was made for and who this membership is not made for, so you can figure out if this is a space that you are meant to be in. So you can make an informed decision, group number 1, because that's the entire point of my videos and everything that I am offering. So group number 1, this is the reading that I've received for you wherever you are on this gorgeous planet. I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of our upcoming predictions. Welcome, my beautiful soul of group number 2. You chose my Pastel Journey Tarot deck as well as the Amethyst crystal. Remember, there's a reason why you chose this group and why you're here right now to receive these messages about the next 3 days of your life. So this is the gorgeous Amethyst crystal. This is a stone that strengthens your intuition. So as I like to say, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Your intuition, your feeling is what brought you here. So it is also going to reveal everything that you needed to know about these upcoming 72 hours. So first up, we've got the Hanged Man that popped right out of the deck. I love how the Pastel Journey deck has these very sweet, kawaii vibes to it, which is a deck that I was looking for. It wasn't on the market, so I created it. And here we are today with thousands of you having your own Pastel Journey decks in your collection. Now, the Hanged Man shows us seeing things from a different perspective, just as I could have thought to myself, oh, I would really, really love a deck that has these kawaii vibes. Oh, it doesn't exist. Oh, well, someone's going to do it eventually. No, I saw it from a different viewpoint. I thought to myself, why don't I become the creator of it? Why don't I create a deck like that? What's stopping me? And this is a type of big picture thinking that Spirit sees you doing in the next 3 days. So a shift from thinking someone else is going to do it or the solution is going to miraculously come through some sort of other avenue to actually creating the solution to something that you desire yourself. So shifting from thinking maybe someone is still going to come and save you to saving yourself. The same goes for anyone who is feeling like, well, once I have a partner, my life will be better because I'll have someone to talk to, I'll have someone to be close to spend these evenings with, someone to help me in different ways. But the thing is, when you think in that scarcity mindset, you usually attract toxic people who can sense that there is a little air of desperation within your energetic field. So when you step away from needing some sort of external influence or validation to make you feel good, you become incredibly powerful. And I see a powerful shift in how you view yourself and your capabilities and your life in these next 72 hours. And what it does within you, group number 2, I see this in the King of Swords, is it ignites this power that you didn't even know you were capable of. A power to say no to literally anyone, even if you're crushing on someone, even if you feel like, oh, this person is attractive. If they are not valuing you, if they're not showing respect, it's just a no, and you will be tested in these next 3 days. So as mentioned, Someone is going to chat you up virtually or in person. They're hot, they're attractive, but the way they're chatting you up, you can already tell it is slightly disrespectful. It is slightly too intrusive. You think to yourself, would my future spouse do this? And the answer is no. And in the past, you may have thought to yourself, well, you know, maybe they're just being funny, or maybe they'll change. Well, maybe they're just trying to make conversation, but you're putting a hard stop to this in the next 72 hours, group number 2, because you've been through so much ish in your life. You're not going to go through more, especially now that you've found your inner wisdom and power to say no to anything that doesn't resonate with honoring you. The Justice card shows us someone who's holding a scale, and we've got a sword again. The sword is a phallic symbol, which means a masculine symbol. And the Justice card reveals to you precisely that the next 3 days are 3 days of finding balance. And for me, for example, group number 2, the past week, I have been glued to my computer, updating and upgrading all of the online courses that I've got for you guys, all of the online spaces, because I promise you, this is not a hope, this is not a wish, this is a promise. I am creating the best space on the internet for tarot readers and aspiring tarot readers. And I'm not going to stop until I have perfected it, until I have created something that is so amazing and inviting that literally every tarot reader on planet Earth knows about it and is like, yeah, I learned so much more there. There's such a beautiful community in there. And that served me so much on my journey to reading tarot for myself and others. And for me, working really hard and then going to the gym last night for so many hours, it just gave me a rush. It gave me so many endorphins that were just rushing through my veins that put me back into balance from living such a sedentary lifestyle for the past week of doing deep focus, almost monk mode work. And I want you to know that this is not just something bringing you back into balance in 3 days that happened to be like a week-long event that put you out of balance. I'm talking getting back into balance here, finally having justice in the sense of a lot of your hard work you've put in over months and years being recognized. Okay, so being the one considered for a promotion, but I see here with Justice and the Hanged Man that it will be revealed to you a few days later, but you are considered for it. People are talking about you, and they're saying how actually you are really deserving of this promotion, and how you should probably be the one who gets this promotion. Now, for all of you who run your own businesses, I want you to know that what Justice does and Master number 11 in the next 3 days is that it brings your personal life back into balance, at least for a little bit. So if you've only been focused on your work, you've only been focused on making money, on actually creating the life of your dreams, you can sometimes get into this very drained state where you just got to take yourself out for lunch, for dinner, you just got to treat yourself, spoil yourself, buy yourself something. So the next 3 days, you are highly encouraged to do so to bring your energies back into balance, because right now they're out of whack. All right. And in order to be successful, of course, you need focus, but what is the success going to do for you if at the end of the day you have no time or energy or even any feeling of wanting to enjoy the success because you're feeling so depressed and overwhelmed? So the thing that Spirit wants to say to you is that in these next 3 days, you're going to rise in love when you invest back into yourself and your well-being and your self-care. Going for a massage to a spa, these are great ways for you to rise in love. Book it right now. Group number 2, no more procrastination. No saying through the screen, yeah, I'll do it. But then what happens when your big sis is no longer here in the room with you? Did you do it? Did you take care of yourself? I think in a lot of instances you liked the idea, group number 2, but then when it came to the execution, you questioned. Why are you questioning whether you're worthy of a timeout? Why are you questioning whether you will be able to make up that time or that money that you could have made while you were relaxing? Others do it all the time. Group number 2, it is not about whether you can, it's about your own beliefs. It's about your own energetic frequency. Honesty at the edge of quiet. So your guides want you to take this moment to call yourself out. And I know I am literally the channel that calls you guys out. I don't even know how you guys come back to these readings, because I feel like I'm the only reader who's like, you know what, sis, like this, you need to look at this. And here with an honesty at the edge of quiet, message I'm getting for you is that right now, of course, you're quiet, you're just taking in your reading. Be real with yourself, be honest with yourself. When was the last time that you really, truly saw things from a perspective of, you know what, me getting this beverage, me getting this piece of clothing, sure, I don't quote unquote need it. I can drink a matcha at home. I can make myself a coffee or a tea at home. I can get clothes out of my storage, out of my closet, the back of my closet that I didn't even know that I had. But let's be real, isn't life also here for you to enjoy? Aren't coffee shops here to be visited and to have social interactions and to give yourself just a moment of pleasure, a little feeling of, yeah, I did this for me. And it just tastes different when it's in a to-go cup or you're drinking it somewhere and someone else made it for you. It just feels different when you get yourself a new hoodie rather than wearing the one that is ill-fitting just because you have it. Now, waterfalls of white light shows us that you are so much harder on yourself than you ever are on anyone else. We've got these waterfalls that are literally showing how much water, how much emotion always gets spilled out day by day. You are going in on yourself, but not in the sense of calling yourself out and saying, hey, why am I always going in on myself? No, you are calling yourself out by just going in. Group number 2. Like, give yourself a rest. Come on now, group number 2. There are people who go shopping day in, day out, who literally are just eating out every single day of the week, drinking out every single day of the week, and you're feeling bad about giving yourself that one time. Know here within the equinox, your message for the next 3 days is to have this balanced release, okay? Balanced release of money, releasing money back into circulation, and just giving thanks to it, saying thank you that I even had these funds to be able to spend on something that I wanted. Balanced release in the sense of you've got tension in your body, go for a walk. Sitting in the same chair, in the same position, day in and day out, hunched over on your laptop, it's so detrimental to you, group number 2, and we don't even realize it because it is the norm. And the next 3 days are about doing polar opposites of what you would usually do and not being afraid to do it, because when we're doing something completely different than what we're used to, there's always a little bit of fear attached to it because, well, we're not used to it. Wow, look at what Spirit is saying to you about the next 3 days. Abundant. Present in great quantities, providing a more than plentiful supply of something, existing or available in large quantities. You are abundant, group number 2. Spirit wants you to know that these next 3 days will be filled with abundance, and we have so many messages in here. The fact that you received abundant of all of the messages that you could have received, group number 2, it is meant to be that you feel into the abundant you. She exists. The abundant you is in the quantum field, but how do you access her? Well, how you access her is by feeling like her, is by behaving like her, is by talking like her, walking like her, or him, or them, whoever you identify as. And it's time in the next 3 days that we make this mental and energetic shift from who we are today as we're watching this video to who we know that we want to be next. So it's a version of you, but an improved one. So prior you may have thought, oh, it's so risky to start a YouTube channel or a blog or my own business. A lot of businesses fail. Okay, and group number 2? So a lot of them also succeed. And the story of success, that would be your story. And I see here within the solar plexus energy that your guides are trying to tell you to stand in your light. And you'll see a dove, 2 doves in the next 3 days. We also have the abundance number 8 here, which has appeared multiple times in your reading already. We've got 28 here, Within the honesty at the edge of quiet card right up here. Then within the equinox, we've got number 18. And now in the solar plexus energy, we've got the number 8. The fact that this showed up in succession, you saw me shuffle the cards on camera. This is no coincidence. This is meant to be 8, 18, 28. It shows us that in every stage of these next 3 days, it showed up 3 times. Group number 2, 3 times. So within the next 3 days, you will find abundance in every single day, as the number 8 is a number of abundance. Every single day, something abundant, mesmerizing, and fantastic is going to happen to you. Every single day, you are going to unlock the next level and think to yourself, man, this couldn't get any better. This is serendipity meant to be. So some coincidences that are so positive, amazing, and light that you didn't expect, but they're still here and they're still happening for you. That's what serendipity is. And I see here within the number 40 and the collective heart that what this does is actually increase the likelihood of you bumping into people that want to have you in their lives forever. And the thing here within the collective heart, I also want you to notice in these other, so on this side we've got the number 8, and then on this side, guess what numbers we've got? 34, 40, and 42. What do they all have in common? The number 4. The number 4 is a number in numerology that describes stability. It describes completion, right? We've got 4 seasons, 4 directions. Homes are usually built with 4 walls. So I want you to know here that the number 4 gives us the confirmation that this abundance that's happening in the number 8, right? These positive shifts, they're not temporary. Even though it may seem like, oh my God, 3 days is such a short amount of time for me to shift who I am internally, for me to become this new person, it doesn't always need to be such a long-winded process, group number 2. Sometimes you just decide something, you do it, and then you're that person. It's, for me, I have an example within my own life. I decided I'm going to go plant-based. I did it, and that's how it was from there on out, one day to the next. I decided I was going to be a successful tarot reader, and I did it. Of course, in between, there are going to be times where you question yourself, where you ask yourself whether you picked the right path, whether, you're really going to actually make it, especially at the beginning stages. But I find that even once you have excelled a little bit in your field, there come so many moments where you doubt yourself more than even at the beginning, because the more that you know, the more obstacles that you see. However, when you have this naive vibe to you of doing something for the first time and never having done it before, you don't see obstacles because you don't know them, because after all, you don't know what you don't know. And I see here that what this newfound version of you is all about is taking action from a place of naivete. So taking action just like you're doing something for the first time, not seeing what could not work, but instead focusing on where you do want to go. And with certainty, reminding yourself, life is abundant. Everything is stacked in your favor. These next 3 days are the keys, a pivotal moment to the next cycle within your life that's actually where you want to be, where you've intended to go for a long time, group number 2. So I do want you to take a moment, either within this reading right now, I'm about to clear and cleanse the space and delve more deeply into it, or after you have received this reading, and write down the things that you want. Write down the stuff that you want to manifest, regardless of how big it is. Make a list. And I want you to know that within that list, after receiving this reading, after being in this energy of divine abundance and protection, within the next 3 days, you will be shocked at what part of that list actually comes true. You will be shocked at what you're able to manifest that is a preview. So for example, if you want to manifest, let's just say a lump sum of money, you want to manifest 7 figures, you will be shocked that you will make that first step, which is a confirmation from the universe, within 3 days of watching this video. So either, for example, receiving a big refund that you didn't expect, making extra cash that you did not see coming so quickly, and that hitting your account and knowing this is confirmation that what I'm doing is working, the universe is with me, and I'm moving in the right direction. So group 2, as already teased, I'm going to clear and cleanse a space. Leave a full moon emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you're here, that you are part of group number 2, because that's the only way that you would know. And then I will be right back. You don't have to lift a single finger, and we'll delve more deeply into what's coming towards you within the next 72 hours of your life from the moment of you watching this reading. Welcome back, my gorgeous soul of group number 2. So we have our divination board ready, and we're going to delve more deeply into what's coming towards you within the next 3 days. We'll also use our astro dice so we can get into this in the most accurate and detailed way possible. All right, so we've got 00 on unknown. Then we have the number 6 between Saturday and Sunday, and the number 1 on unknown. So I want you to understand that what this means is between Saturday and Sunday, we've got 6 of an item in your life that is important. And within 1 and 00, 100, between Saturday and Sunday, Saturday being the 6th day of the week, that is where you will be able to do 100 things that were unknown before. So obviously it is a little bit of an exaggeration, but you'll get a lot done between Saturday and Sunday of your upcoming week, of things that were stressing you out, things that were causing you a lot of anxiety. So it's like 100 little tasks that you're getting done. So here we've got Scorpio that landed on Taurus and April, and then outside of the video frame we have got our beautiful planet of Mercury. So here's Mercury. All right, we're all zoomed in now. So let's make sense of all of this. Mercury at the time of me filming this video is in retrograde, which means it's not surprising that a lot of things, especially technology related things, are not working out. Computers crashing, having issues with your phone, so on and so forth. So this landed outside of the frame. And then we've also got Scorpio, and Scorpio is ruled by the 8th house, and the ruler planetary wise of Scorpio is Pluto. So I see that when it comes to communication and Scorpio, we have very intense energy. So what you're going to get done, 100 of these little things you're going to get done on the next weekend, is finally replying to all of those unanswered and unopened WhatsApp chats and DMs that you have been procrastinating for so long, finally catching up on a lot of the emails that are just sitting there, that are marked, that are in your inbox, that you know you need to do something about. So that's what I'm getting here when it comes to the communication, and Scorpio being a sign that is intense, that loves transformation, that loves to get things done, and that loves to just overall say it how it is. So I do see that the weekend is going to bring you a lot more of clarity, in a sense that you can step into the next week after the upcoming weekend and feel fresh, feel like the slate is clean, and like you've done everything that needs to be done. And you can finally not have all of this procrastinated stuff that's still sitting somewhere on your to-do list. What this does here, as Spirit is communicating, is that it increases your respect, the respect that you have for yourself. And the next 3 days, increasing the respect that you have for yourself also means that you will get more done in the future again, because you're associating getting things done with a feeling of self-respect. And when you respect yourself and you respect your time, other people start to respect you and your time a lot more as well. And it is like this ripple effect that starts with you. It's a domino effect. Like when you push over a domino and you have a lot of dominoes lined up, and all of a sudden they just keep hitting one another until the end point, until there is no additional stone that is laid before the next, and you've come to an end, quote unquote. But within life and your self-respect and what goes on internally, it's like an endless domino effect, and you just have to make sure that you keep hitting that next domino, that you keep nurturing, that you keep building. So it's not like 3 dominoes hit one another and then you're done. No, it's an endless loop, but you have to make sure that you continue to nurture, you continue to feed into your self-respect, and you continue to show that self-respect is something that's a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable from you to you. So a gift that you are giving to yourself and you are also giving to future you. You see how we're kind of like holding ourselves here. We're in this position that's almost like a fetus position, and it's giving yourself a big hug, knowing here that your wings, your scales mean that you can thrive in any element, any environment. But what you've got to do is you have to make sure that wherever you enter a room, you respect yourself and you don't make yourself small. Let me tell you, it is dangerous to not respect yourself, because there are situations in which people who can see and sense that will take advantage of your lack of self-respect. And we gotta avoid that at all costs, group number 2. Imagine, for example, you walk into a room. Imagine, for example, you go to a job interview and your self-respect is low, which means that physically you are sending out physical cues, behavioral cues that will tell the other person, oh, I don't have a lot of confidence. Like, you may be more slouched, you may nervously look away when you shake their hand, your hand might be a little clammy, your handshake might not be as firm and as confident as you would, the way you look them in the eye. All of these little cues, even though it's happening subconsciously with the other person, will allow for them to understand to what degree you value yourself and who they're dealing with. And that will have an effect directly on the bottom line of what kind of pay that they offer you. Do they even offer you bonuses? Or do they already deem you as the type of person who is okay with none of that? And the same also goes for romantic relationships. If you enter a relationship chasing, being the one who seems to always keep the relationship going, you keep jump starting it when the other person ghosts or doesn't put effort to make sure it carries on, it will continue that way, and the disrespect will just deepen and worsen. And the thing is, you are transforming. You were there once, group number 2, and it's nothing to feel ashamed of. I totally feel it and get it and understand. It's not easy, but now is a time for transformation and breaking free. We've got the butterflies here. The butterflies represent transformation, freedom, spreading your wings. And another thing that we do also have here within Transform is you looking at different ways in which you can spread your wings and get out of a situation in which you can tell that you haven't been respected. So for example, if you feel like you get no recognition for all of the work that you put in, if you get to family get-togethers and people just like make fun of your lifestyle choices, why even show up anymore? Why go to the family meetings? And please don't say Vanessa Somuayina from YouTube told you to quit your job, but like low-key, quit your job if you're not appreciated. Why? Why even be there? I see here within Grateful that we are only focusing on people who are actually grateful to us, who are actually grateful for the fact that we exist and want to keep us around. Grateful shows us that in the next days, you will also have another person reach out to you and tell you just how grateful that they are to have you within their lives. I'm going to tell you exactly who this is. All right, we've got a Libra, and then we've got L and M. So a Libra named Lisa, Larry, Mona, Leon, Melanie, Lawrence, Melania, Maria. We have their initials and we know precisely that they are a Libra. So I want you to understand that this person reaching out in the next 3 days, expressing to you how grateful that they are, you seeing butterflies, okay, because we've got butterflies here again. We had a lot of butterflies in Transformation. What this does for you, group number 2, is it reminds you that there are people out here who deeply appreciate you, and you sure as hell don't need to settle for the ones that don't. And the next 3 days, having this recognition, it is like a big ego boost for you. It is a big increase internally that reminds you of your worth and reminds you like, yeah, you know what? I get to walk around with my head held high. I get to wear this outfit. I don't look silly in it because it's not the outfit wearing me. I'm wearing the outfit. And if I say something looks good, it looks good. I am my own beauty standard. I see here within the Queen of Air, we have communication in the next 3 days that is increased. So your phone time is going to be up. which means you're going to be on the phone more frequently. We also have, again, a huge repetition of the number 4. The Queen of Light corresponds to the number 4. Grateful corresponds to the number 47. Then we have the number 43 here. This was the card of respect. Then we've got the number 4, the card of nurture. Here we've got 35, which is basically the only card that does not correlate to the number 4, numerologically speaking. And, well, what does 4 mean? Stability, creating strong bonds and relationships. The Queen of Air is the Queen of communication, which means that talking more on the phone, having more voice recordings in the next 3 days that you're sending back and forth on Messenger, on WhatsApp, in the DMs is one thing that I can see here for you, group number 2. And an increase in communication also means an increase in your relationships being strong and you being surprised that people want to do things for you that you absolutely didn't expect them to do, because they're actually thinking to themselves, man, I would really, really love to give back because I always get such great advice. I always get so much value from this person. Now we've got the labyrinth of sweet surrender. The next 3 days, we've got someone who is laying here in the water. They're not struggling, they're just laying on their back, they're floating. And then I'm not sure if this represents like a block or something, but there's also flowers in the water. And it shows us here that there's this floating, this surrendering to being carried, right? Because if you're just floating in the water, if you've ever done that, just floating on your back, if you're nervous, if you're like fidgeting around, then it's not going to work. You're going to sink, your legs are going to drop, and you're going to have to swim. But if you allow yourself to really surrender, really relax into the space, then you can float, and you have to stay in the surrendered mode if you want to stay floating. And that is the message that we have for you. If there's one thing Spirit wants you to take from this reading, is that the next 3 days are about this sweet surrendering. The next 3 days are about surrendering to what comes towards you, dealing with it as things arrive in the mail, via email, without having the usual response that you do to things that are challenging or stressful. But instead, here in the Queen of Air, address it immediately. A lot of people, there are a lot of crooks out here, there are a lot of cheaters out here who will send you bills, who will say that you owe them something, who will say that you still got to do X, Y, or Z for them. And for all of you who are empaths, for all of you who are citizens that do the right things, that adhere to being honest, to being kind, to never taking advantage of another person, you were not raised on that type of energy, so you may not understand it, and it may stress you out. That's exactly what people are trying to achieve who are in the dark energy of trying to claim something that isn't theirs, be it your time, your money, or your energetic space and frequency and vibration, and try to suck that out of you like a vampire. So us softies and empaths, we have to learn to protect ourselves. And that means when these things come, surrender to the fact that people like this exist, but then use your communication, light language, to make it very clear you are no fool. You are not to be played or taken advantage of. You know what's going on. You know what's rightfully yours, and you know where you still have debts to pay and where you have absolutely nothing that the other person has to expect from you. So this is about clear communication the next 3 days of standing up for yourself, showing that you respect yourself. Remember, we spoke about that, nurturing yourself. And whenever you have a little moment of self-doubt, will have that person calling you, texting you, who is grateful to have you within their life, and that will serve as a reminder that you are doing the right thing. Group number 2, I can't wait to see you stand up for yourself and to communicate more fiercely. And I'm so excited that you are here and that you received this reading. Let me know below in the comment section that it resonated for you. And as already mentioned during the intro, this is the last opportunity for you to become a member at a highly discounted rate. And the information and link to the membership is below in the description box, where you get daily tarot card reading and full access to a members only library of exclusive pick a card tarot videos that you cannot find on YouTube. I also have manifestation videos in there and other bonus content. And Lastly, I also want to point out that what you will see in the description box as well is my free course on how to build a successful YouTube channel organically, just the way that I did, with all of my tips and tricks, and you can take this course for free. I created this for all of you who dream of doing YouTube either full-time or as a side venture, because I truly believe that the most important thing once you have created a path is to pave the way for others. So make sure that you check that out. It's linked in the description box as well. And if this is the first time that you're on my channel, make sure to subscribe to never miss any upcoming prediction. So group number 2, thank you for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me. And I can't wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming readings. Hello, my beautiful soul of group number 3. So you chose the Ephemer Tarot deck as well as the Cognac Calcite Crystal. Let's first do a close-up of the stone. This is a stone that is set to rejuvenate you, and also for all of you who are chronically dehydrated, sleep deprived, and depressed, this is a stone that is set to increase the healing energies surrounding you, helping you to get rid of those symptoms. So let's get into your reading so we can figure out precisely what's happening for you within the next 72 hours. In case you're completely new here, my name's Vanessa Somuayina, and I will be your reader today. I am a psychic medium who has conducted tens of thousands of readings on and offline, and if you're already feeling comfortable in this healing space on the internet, make sure you subscribe to my channel to never miss an upcoming prediction that is meant for you. So let's get into it. First and foremost, the 6 of Coins. You know what's happening in the next 72 hours. You are going to see one of your accounts, one of your savings grow. So an account that you had forgotten about, or a wallet, an old wallet that you had replaced, and it's going to come to the surface again. You're either going to see it by coincidence, or as you're cleaning out, deep cleaning your space, you're going to come across some extra money that you thought was here at the bottom buried, but it's actually turned into this tree, which all of a sudden has increased in your assets. So the thing is, you having additional money that you're coming across and finding, it is an instant mood booster for you, group number 3. And we also have the money tree depicted here in the 6 of Coins. In case you've never seen a money tree, this is what a money tree looks like. And you will walk past a money tree in a store and literally think to yourself, should I buy this or not? In case you didn't know that these plants, these little mini trees, are money trees, have it in your living room. I have had 2 money trees in my home for years. They've been in the backgrounds of my videos, and they are set to attract prosperity and good luck, especially in any kind of Eastern cultures. Money trees are seen as sacred and are seen as energetically super pure. Next up, we have the 8 of Swords. So this shows a bird that looks like a mini phoenix that seems to be entrapped within these swords that are surrounding this beautiful creature. But you will think to yourself, wait, what? This is a strong, invincible phoenix. Like, surely it can just kind of fly upwards and get out of this situation and free itself. And yes, you are right about this, group number 3, but 8 of Swords, so the suit of Swords is the suit of what goes on in your life mentally and logically. And I want to remind you of the many times in which logic had nothing to do with the situation you were in. Like when you were in love with that person that didn't even text you back, you were obsessed with them. Did it logically make sense to still try to be with that person, to still have hopes for that relationship? No. But how you feel and what the heart wants is different from logic. And the suit of Swords is a masculine suit that is so rigid, where logic cuts so deeply, whereas sometimes you've got to follow your heart. And here within the 8 of Swords, what this shows is in the next 3 days, you will free yourself from a situation that you thought logically had to be one way, but your heart is giving you guidance how you can get out of a troubled situation and into a new state that you can actually thrive in. Like in a situationship, you think, well, I will never find someone like this again. They've got green eyes, they've got an amazing job, they're tall, they are the type of person I could see myself starting a family with. They come from a good background. They speak 4 different languages. Something about them is just really hot. They have big hands, they have a defined body. Whatever the traits are that you're worried you won't find in a unique combination like this person again, you free yourself from the fact that the only way that a relationship will work with another person is if they too want the relationship and they want to be in it. And when you free yourself from situations such as the example that I just mentioned, what that does is it ends your own suffering. The same goes for a job that you don't like. You may feel just like this phoenix, entrapped by logic, like, oh, I have to finish studying this because I already started and my whole family will see me as a failure if I stop. I have to do this job because I studied, I spent so much time and money. Now I can't not become a lawyer or a teacher or a caretaker. Now I can't not go into being a therapist. Yes, you can, group number 3. It's your choice. And sometimes we entrap and capture our own selves. There is actually a real term for this. You may have heard of this before. It's called Stockholm Syndrome, and it refers to the bond that can develop between hostages and their captors in hostage-taking and kidnapping situations. And in some situations, the hostages even develop sympathies and love for their captors, and even turn against, for example, the authorities who are trying to rescue them or family members. So that's why a lot of people, and this is a completely different scale and level, but it's just to reiterate to you how feeling captured, how being in a situation where you are actually held hostage by your thoughts is a real thing. There are people who are literally kidnapped, who have been hostages for years, and they go out with the abuser, they go out with the captor. They go and they do shopping, they go on vacation, they just do normal human stuff, and they never run away, they never ask for help, because mentally they're so attached and bonded to the situation and this person, and that's all they know, especially the longer it's been going on, that even when they have opportunity to free themselves, a lot of people don't. So the Stockholm Syndrome is very similar to what the 8 of Swords is trying to describe here, group number 3. And I want you to know that freeing yourself from these bonds, of course, to a lesser extent than the actual Stockholm Syndrome and the way I just described it to you now, but it is necessary and liberating, and that's the only way you'll find your freedom again. We've got the Keeper. All right, group number 3, it's time to gas you up. Did you know you're a Keeper? Did you know that you make for the perfect spouse, the perfect partner? A keeper that one will never want to let go of, kind of like this golden egg right here. And I see within the Keeper that anyone who has not realized that, they're filled with regrets. And in the next 3 days, someone is going to use these literal words. It could be in the English language, or if you speak a different language, whatever language it is that you're speaking in, someone is going to tell you that you're such a keeper. And that you're the type of person that one should be grateful to even have an opportunity to talk to. People should be grateful to even breathe the same air as you do. And here we've got the counterpoint, which is indicative of group 3. You then in turn realizing you deserve nothing less than this love and counterpoint. You see how he is so infatuated by her, how he's leaning back and has his head on her lap, and she's looking down at him, and he's enamored. He trusts, he leans back, he's vulnerable, and he's exactly where he wants to be. As mentioned earlier, you cannot force anyone to be somewhere that they don't want to be. And I see that the next 3 days will bring you to this huge realization that a love that doesn't feel like this counterpoint, that doesn't feel like every time you kind of hit the ball towards them, it's not reciprocated. The ball keeps landing in their court and they're not playing ball, they're not playing back. That you deserve someone who plays back, you deserve someone who counters, and actually who puts more effort into counter. So you are not constantly jump-starting a relationship that doesn't deserve to be jump-started, because group number 3, we spoke about this, you're a keeper. But until you put out that keeper energy, No one's gonna know that you're a keeper if you don't even know. You get what I'm saying, group number 3? So let's move a little more deeply into this reading. I hope you're enjoying this just as much as I am. If you are, please make sure you leave a money bag and tree emoji below in the comment section to further manifest more funds coming your way, and also to let me and others know that you're part of group number 3. You watched past the money tree section, so hence why the tree and the money bag. Leave that below in the comment section. So next within your reading, we have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune represents seeing things from a different perspective, just as if you're looking at this wheel, depending on where you stand. If you were to stand on the perimeter of this wheel, the outlook, the view is different. And the thing with the Wheel of Fortune, the message we have is that in the next 3 days, we also have a very close relationship here with these birds. What you'll realize in the next 3 days is that there is someone in a close relationship that you did not agree with that you now understand. And as you liberate yourself from self-induced suffering and self-induced kind of being captured, if you will, group number 3, you also understand that this can happen to other people. Because we always think, oh, it's never going to happen to me. I'm never going to be cheated on. I'm never going to lose money or be scammed or be unwell or be in a situationship until something like that happens to us, and then we are humbled. And I see in the Wheel of Fortune that you have been humbled before, and it's not that we wish this on anyone, but all of us need to come to a point of being humbled to not become arrogant and extremely judgmental. The Judgment card showed up, and it is because you have learned to refrain from judgment. Through the Wheel of Fortune and seeing things from different perspectives, you understand when someone is going through a situation, even if you would never find yourself in it, or you have learned that lesson and it's just not something you would do. You've been in other situations you never thought you would be in, so you get it. You get that we're all human, and you have developed this very mature empathy for other people where you understand life ain't easy for any of us. And rather than judging another person, you would rather be that individual that sees it from their perspective and can learn. You never see someone's misfortune or someone's challenges that others would call stupidity as stupid, because you understand we all have weaknesses. For some, it's a relationship. For some, it's giving money to other people who seem in need. For others, it's being really unhealthy in our diets and making ourselves sick. We all have weaknesses. We all have addictions. We all have ways in which we are imperfect. And I see here within the Moonstone that you have transcended from a place of judgment, group number 3, and instead you are connected to using every encounter and every story that you hear in order to grow from the inside out. You actually see it as a beautiful opportunity to learn more about humanity every time you're dealing with some sort of judgmental thoughts. Here within the next 3 days, I do also see that what is coming for you is some sort of lucid dreaming. So being half asleep, half awake, and a dream being so real that it feels like you can touch it, you can taste it, you can smell it. And the citrine brings us a message of clarity. The citrine is a crystal of abundance and wealth, and your dreams becoming a reality. So in the next 3 days, whether you want it or not, whether you planned it and this is part of your spiritual practice, or it's just a coincidence, you will be thinking really intensely about your dream life, where you want to go next, and your goals. And the emotion and the energy expended will be so intense that you will get into this lucid dreaming state. So as mentioned, whether you are purposely doing a visualization or you're about to drift off into a nap or into a restful night's sleep, sleeping within this state, falling asleep within this state, being in a lucid dreaming state, and feeling all the feels like this is actually happening, like this is actually real. This is the most powerful way to manifest the things that you want into your current realm. because it is out there, it is within the quantum field, it is accessible, but it is about getting on the same energetic wavelength and frequency in order to actually possess those things finally, to possess that life. So let's move. Oh, okay, we have a card that popped right into your reading. We're going to get some extra information from Spirit. Okay, so we have enclose, and you know what popped into the reading? You saw as I was going through the bag of words, and one popped out like it had to be there, like it had to give you this message, like it was meant to be. Look what it was. It was abundant. Look at that, group number 3. Isn't that the most fortunate message that you could have received within your reading? Abundant, present in great quantities, providing a more than plentiful supply of something, existing or available in large quantities. And then we also had enclose, to surround or shut in something, to add something to the contents of an envelope or package. So I see here that in an envelope or a package, you will receive something in abundance. So a gift, you maybe ordered something, group number 3, and it's on its way to you, and it's making you feel abundant. If you haven't ordered something yet, you're thinking about it, you've got a lot of filled carts online, make sure that you actually check out and give yourself a little gift, a little treat. You deserve it, group number 3. I promise you, you're never going to regret doing something for yourself that is an investment. So if you've got a cart full of educational content, courses, books, maybe incense, crystals, journals, use the checkout. Get the credit card out, get PayPal ready, check the F out, group number 3. Like, come on now. What are you on this planet for? To just look at things and suffer, to never actually live the life that you want? If not now, then when? Because honestly, you've been thinking about this for far too long. Pull the trigger. Because what is the worst thing that could happen? If you don't do it, you'll stay the same like you've always been. If you do invest in yourself or in something that makes you feel better and something that makes you feel more worthy, it's only up from there. And you're going to pay either way. Either you're going to pay in time because it takes you so long, maybe even lifetimes. Maybe you don't even have enough time in this lifetime, in this 80, 90, 100, 110 years that you've got on planet Earth. You're either going to pay in your time or you can pay someone in order to feel better, to learn faster, and to not make the mistakes that they made, to acquire the wisdom and live the life that you want to live. For example, if you wanted to build a business, why do everything from scratch without ever reading one business book or listening to one business podcast or even researching one thing? Yeah, it will probably take you about 500 years to get anywhere. You are then paying in time. Or you can literally pay to use the resources, to use the different tools that we've got, and you can build a successful business in a matter of days, weeks, or months. So you pay either way. It just depends what the value is that you're attaching to time, what the value is that you're attaching to money, and the meaning that you're attaching to these things. I personally choose to attach to money the meaning of a means to be grateful for, because wow, with money, I get to pay rent and have a beautiful roof over my head. Wow, with money, I get to go out and eat food and be served and not always have to cook everything myself 3 times a day. Wow, with money, I can buy myself a plane ticket and I can travel to another country and see a different culture and even live there if I want to. Wow, with money, I can invest in the best possible softwares and hosting platforms, and I can create beautiful communities and online courses for people who can learn from my mistakes. That's literally what money can be seen as. That's what money can do for you. It doesn't have to be a stressor. It can literally be something you're grateful for and you see as doing a job for you so you can enjoy life and experience more. Group number 3, Spirit is telling me to clear and cleanse the space and be back and move more deeply into your prediction. So that's what I'm going to do right now. In the meantime, if you haven't already, leave the tree and money bag emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you're part of group number 3, that you're a real one, you're still here. And then we'll move even more deeply into your prediction. You don't have to do a thing. You don't have to lift a finger. I'll be right back with you. Welcome back, my gorgeous soul of group number 3. So let's delve even more deeply into your 72-hour prediction, shall we? So we've got our divination board and we also have our charm pouch. Let me just show you. We've got all of these charms in here. It's a little hard to see, but you get the idea. Here we go. So we are going to intuitively see what Spirit has in store for you when it comes to, oh, okay, we already have some charms that are revealing themselves. So first off, we've got this angel wing that landed outside of the board. So you are always protected, not just in the next 3 business days, all right? We've got your angel wings, your guides who are telling you, we're here to protect you. We're here to make sure that you are doing well at all times, group number 3, and that nothing happens to you that you can't handle, that you can't stem. So then we also have the key between the unknown as well as know. And then we have Wednesday with the acorns. We have a flower and a star within the middle where this moth depiction is. So let's first talk about the key. You are not meant to open some unknown doors. You know how some people say, oh, we don't need to open that door? Yeah, well, there are certain doors you don't need to open, certain doors that won't lead to Narnia, group number 3. And in the next 3 days, you're being called to just focus on what makes you feel like a star and where you feel like you can plant seeds and grow. Hence why we've got the star and the flower, things that will make you bloom. Because not every door should even be interesting to you. Because the actual lock of the door has been changed and there's no point in having the key any longer. So if you also have a key literally in your possession, group number 3, that is of no use, that you may just mix up with the keys that you are actually using, either label it or get rid of it. Just make sure you put it somewhere where it's not going to cause confusion and where no one is going to think, oh, this is actually a key that works, and take it and then it doesn't even work, especially if you're trying to give that key to a family member or to a friend who needs to be able to get in somewhere in order to help you or to be able to access a space. Now in Wednesday and the acorn, you will see acorns on the ground the next Wednesday, and what the acorns on the ground will symbolize for you is that this is the start of you leaving certain doors closed, as we spoke about here within know and the key. And another message that I'm getting is instead focus on the doors that you do have the key to, that you can open and unlock. Often we think to ourselves, when I lose weight, I'll wear that outfit. When I feel ready, I'll start that business. When I feel confident in myself, that's when I'll get that new hairstyle, or I'll finally put myself in a situation to date. When I have time, then I will clean up, I will reorganize. When I have time, I'm gonna call my parents or my siblings. Group number 3, we are always busy. And this is a huge revelation for a lot of you. And I'm not even trying to be sarcastic, but it's like, if we're busy all the time, that means theoretically you will never have time until you accept the reality that there is no excuse for some of these things and that you've got to make time for it. So Spirit is trying to say to you here that within the next 3 days, you will see a lot of colors and numbers that you are going to know are signs for precisely what needs to happen next. And you will see all of these signs and think to yourself, Spirit, you need to stop following me. And it will make you to acknowledge feelings that you've been struggling with. You will be able to see what's not adding up within your life by following the advice from your guides. And here we also have master number 22. We have this clock tower that is hanging onto these balloons, and then we have the stop sign with the number 30. So in your environment, there will be different symbols that are reoccurring, like you connecting the color blue to the fact that you have to do something about your depressive disorder. You have to do something about feeling bad about yourself, and you keep seeing blue everywhere. You get a gift from someone, it's wrapped in blue wrapping paper, it comes in a blue bag. You see a balloon in the sky, it is blue. You literally turn on your laptop, and what do you see? A blue page. You see in an email, someone sends you a link, and everything is just blue. And I want you to know that feeling connected to the fact that you have to do something about your struggles with the, for example, color blue, But for you, it could apply differently. It could be that seeing the number 111 is giving you this feeling like, oh, I really need to take action and call my friend or call my mom. I really need to make sure my taxes are done. So whatever correlation it is for you, when Spirit keeps sending you these signs, Spirit is talking to you. Spirit is saying to you, there's a reason why you make a connection between blue and needing to go to the doctors for a checkup, needing to go to the dentist, getting more of your antidepressive meds, getting more of your ADHD meds, whatever it may be. There's a reason why you've made this connection in your head and why it's continuing to be reiterated, because you know what needs to be done, group number 3. You know what needs to be solved, what you need to stop putting off. And Spirit is saying to you, stop playing these games. Spirit is literally calling you out and saying, why are you playing these head games? She's literally holding her head as though she had like a headache or she was going insane from her own thoughts and her own procrastination. And Spirit is trying to say to you here, like, stop with the game, stop playing yourself. Group number 3, these are the questions we've got. Do you feel that you need more fun and play in your life? Is someone playing games in your working or personal life? Do you need a game plan to improve your status or direction? So this would be the last question, right? Needing a game plan to improve your status or direction. Having a game plan, and Spirit is not going to let go of this. You're going to keep seeing symbols. So we have yellow balloons, red balloons, blue balloons. We've also got some sort of watch face, a watch tower, and we've got signs with the number 30, but also the number 22. Furthermore, we have here a red bow, and also we've got a choker with a heart in the middle of it. And then we also have black bangs and a black dress that fans out at the bottom. I do see here for you, and I'm getting that one thing you have to look at is how can you incorporate more fun and play into your life in these next 3 days, because the deprivation of fun and play is what causes a lot of tension and friction and tightness in you actually doing the things that need to be done. Because you delay them, it's almost like harming yourself even more, but trying to, in a way, liberate your... Let me explain this. So when you're having fun, when you're in a good mood, isn't it easier to do things you've been procrastinating because you think to yourself, okay, things have been going so well for me, let me just get this done so that it's not going to come between me and my success and being on a really positive, fortunate, lucky streak, right? So you do things that you usually would procrastinate with ease because you're already in a good streak, so that helps you to overcome challenges. But think about it this way. When you're already in a dire, heavy, hard situations and there's a lot of things that you don't want to do and a lot of stuff weighing on you, you feel depressed, you feel like there's no hope, you feel like there's no way out, and then one extra thing gets piled onto that. It's almost like every single straw breaks the camel's back and you're like, oh, one more thing, and you don't get to it. You continue to put it on the pile and the pile continues to grow and you think to yourself, what's the point in even doing this? Or you procrastinate it. You shy away from doing what needs to be done, even though it's actually more necessary for you to do it then than when you're in a good place. But when you're in a good place, it's easier to overcome these challenges because mentally you're in a space of clarity, you're in a space of winning. So I want you to know that understanding this, understanding human behavior and how your brain works, once you understand more of this, you become free. And Spirit is trying to say to you to be open to receiving the fact that, yeah, up until this point, your programming may have been the latter. It may have been you're already in a challenging situation, and when an extra challenge comes, it's just so heavy and challenging that you don't even want to like deal with it. You don't even want to face it. But you don't have to stay like that. Be open to receiving this information today in this reading and to use it to your benefit, to use it to your advantage. That's also what I even create these readings for, group number 3. It is for you to use to your advantage and to improve your life. Now, in Becoming Nobody, the message that we've got for you, group number 3, is that in order for you to start on a fresh slate, in order for you in these next 3 days to improve your life to the max that you can, 72 hours after receiving this reading, is to rewrite the script and quote unquote become nobody. So to become completely detached from who you identify as. And I don't mean pronouns, all right? I mean, for example, if we work hard, we go to school, We go to college, university, we study something, and then we are someone. We are somebody. Some people are bigger somebodies because they're lawyers or they're big entrepreneurs or they're doctors. And some people in our society are classed as smaller somebodies. Janitors, clerks somewhere, people who do any kind of labor-intensive job. And then you become somebody and you identify as the somebody. You introduce yourself, I am so-and-so, and then the next thing is, I am this person. I am somebody who works here. I am somebody who lives here. And you have this attachment to who you are. You have this attachment to, oh, this defines me, you know, this says a lot about me. If I am an engineer, that says that I'm educated. It says that I'm most likely comfortable financially. It says that I am part of society that is deemed as good. If I am somebody in the sense of, oh, for the last couple months I've been in and out of rehab, haven't been able to hold a stable job, and I have been married and divorced a couple times, and I have kids that I'm struggling to take care of, then you become somebody that is on a lower tier, as society says. You become somebody that people don't want to be, or people don't want to associate with as much. So detaching from the story that you tell yourself is the only way that you will have an opportunity to be someone else and be who you really want to be. Because let me tell you, that single mom that's in and out of rehab might even be less unhappy with herself and her life than that engineer that's overworked and that feels like they've invested their whole life into just becoming a slave of a company and keeping up this facade that they can no longer keep up with. Wow, did we not just talk about in and out of rehab? Did we not just talk about the single mom in and out of rehab? And now we receive the rehabilitation card. When I tell you guys in my last videos that I am beyond in tuned, that when it comes to my reading capabilities, I really do see myself as having reached a new level, an echelon, I really was not playing. I really mean that, group number 3. And here within rehabilitation, look what you've got. The next 3 days are about self-rehabilitation. So you're not quite literally speaking going into rehab in the next 3 days. However, if you do need that kind of help, make sure you sign up for rehab in the next 3 days so you can get in as quickly as possible. But now for the 99% of you who are not going to literal rehab, rehabilitation at home, getting all the healthy foods, stocking yourself up with comfortable clothes, workout clothes, your favorite movies, your favorite shows, and rehab at home, all right? Face masks, taking care of you, taking baths if you've got a bathtub, going on walks. The next 3 days, Spirit wants you to dedicate to your self-care, to rehabilitation from the internet too. I know it sounds strange since I am a reader online and my entire business is online. So me telling you to go offline is basically shooting myself in my own foot. But group number 3, your well-being is number 1. There's no point in having everyone be online and be sick and unwell. We need rehabilitation. We need time and space away from the technology. Our bodies have not been able to adapt to all of this. And most perfect moments, most moments of happiness, of just experiencing some intense joy, happen outside of the internet, happens outside of our mobile devices. Spirit wants to remind you of this and wants to encourage you to take time away from any of these devices that, sure, they are smart, they can help us, but at the same time, they can also impair us by putting a lot of pressure on us mentally, by making us constantly reaffirm who we are, who we think we should be, rather than giving us the opportunity to wake up and every single day identify as a newer, better version of ourselves. You don't have to identify as anyone who you are not, group number 3. But it starts with you. So let's see what messages that we're still getting here from Spirit. So we have E, we have O, we have C, we have H, and we have B. So I will add a few extra letters into your reading, if I may, group number 3. I hope you permit me to. We also have R as well as U. So I'm immediately getting hero here. So the next 3 days, be your own hero, group number 3. Being your own hero is necessary sometimes, especially if for a long time you thought someone would come and save you and no one has come. And that can put you into a really dark place and make you lose hope. Meanwhile, you forgot that if it's sink or swim, you will learn to swim, and you have in the past, and you can do it again. I know sometimes it can be challenging in this lifetime because you can feel really alone, but I want you to know that this is necessary for survival and to get yourself out of a space that is challenging. And then another thing that I'm getting here is the name Rob. So in the next 3 days, we have some sort of Rob, some sort of Robert that is reaching out to you, that you're thinking of, that is going to enter your life again. And then another thing that I'm getting here is an Uber. All right, using an Uber in the next 3 days to get to where you want to go. So your Uber ride, an Uber ride to a place that has an H, C, or O in it. Also your Uber driver's name having CHO as initials and for their name actually being this. So we have, for example, Caesar, Hernandez, Otto, Omar. So I want you to know here, having this Uber ride with this person in the next 3 days is going to do something with you, because I know it's not always the most comfortable place to be in a car with a stranger, and usually you don't even like talking too much. To you, it's actually the more quiet, the better. You don't need to hear everyone's life story. But this person has had such a fantastic life story. You're going to think to yourself, I'm so grateful I encountered this person. I'm so grateful I had this conversation because I really needed it. This really did something with me. That's what I see here for you in the next 72 hours, a life-changing conversation. And it will actually make you feel like a star, like nothing can stop you, because you'll think to yourself, if they went through all of this and they're still smiling every day and so grateful, I have so many opportunities that I haven't even tapped into. Let me stop feeling like the victim and let me start doing, because I can't let him down, I can't let my family down, I can't let myself down. And I see a huge deal of empowerment. So if there's one thing that you take from this reading, group number 3, then that is the fact that you can use every single day to be the person of your dreams. Every single day is an opportunity to have the best day of your life. Every single day is a day in which Spirit will send you signs and reiterate to you what needs to be done until you do it. Until you learn the lesson and show that you did comprehend why you constantly keep attracting toxic partners, why more bills keep coming in your post box than you can actually pay, why you keep getting no's from job applications. Until you learn the lesson to detach, to become nobody, to not identify with a person to whom that is a reality, those lessons will keep coming up until you energetically shift into the person who can either pay the bills with ease, who only attracts partners who love and adore them, or who actually is so wanted in the job market that you get to pick and choose. There's nothing different from someone who has that as their reality than you, except the fact that they picked that reality. They made sure that was their bare minimum. They made sure that in their mind and soul, body, and energetic field, the only broadcast that they've got is that they deserve nothing less than the best. And that's a broadcast that you are tuning into, group number 3. There's a reason why you were here. There's a reason why you were energetically drawn to the Cognac calcite, and why this is the only broadcast that we are allowing from here on out. And that's the energy that I'm willing into this space, that I'm willing into this reading, and that I'm sending you off on this energetic note of the best. Now, group number 3, This is the reading that I've received for you. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. As I mentioned during the intro, don't forget to become a member of my daily tarot reading subscription. So every single day you receive a reading, because I know a lot of you guys want daily guidance. And at this point, I am unfortunately not able to upload a YouTube video every single day. Hence why I created this daily reading membership. There are also exclusive members only videos on the platform for you as well, and lots of other bonus videos that cannot be found on YouTube but are only within your membership. The link to that is below in the description box, and you can read all about it on the gorgeous site that I created for you to figure out precisely if this membership is for you, because I've created 2 columns where I said who this membership is for and who this membership is not for, because I want you guys to always make informed decisions and know exactly what you're getting. And for any of you who are aspiring tarot readers, tarot YouTubers, just YouTubers in general, the link to my absolutely free YouTube mini course on how to build a successful YouTube channel is below in the description box. So make sure that you sign up, get this course for free while it still is free, and learn from my mistakes, pick my brain, use my knowledge, ask me comments in the comment section. Because one of the things that I find imperative is once you have lit your own torch on fire, it is time to pass the torch on. It is time to pass the fire on. My fire will go out unless I pass on the knowledge, the heat, the fire to the next person. And then you do the same, and that's how humanity has continued to evolve and to progress. So it is my responsibility to give you guys all the resources that you need for your growth, and I'm taking that really seriously. So all of that can be found below in the description box. As mentioned, don't forget to subscribe if you felt comfortable in this healing space on the interweb, and congratulations for tuning into a long form video that is not just frying your brain with dopamine hit after dopamine hit, but is actually helping your nervous system to calm and allowing you to connect and learn. Group number 3, I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait for us to catch up in one of your upcoming predictions.